Hello everyone, this is Fine from Tech Gaming Villa. Today I'm going to talk about the two TV, LG G1 and LG G2. The LG G1 Gallery OLED TV is the follow-up to the sleek LG Gallery OLED model that debuted back in 2020. However, the LG G1 has a host of improvements, including a shot in the arm to brightness, make the G series a more tempting proposition than ever. A new high-efficiency Evo panel design and enhanced color system allows the G1 OLED series to boldly go where no LG OLED has gone before. It means, after all, that the spectacular black level and the local contrast talents that LG OLED TVs have always boosted can be partnered with more of the raw brightness and color reach that's so important to a true HDR experience. The extent of the brightness and color boost is not all that extreme, to be clear. As the Evo name for the new panel technology suggests, it is still perhaps more of an evolution than a flat-out revolution. Like the Sony A90J and other competing flagships reduces some of the novelty. But the difference is certainly noticeable and emphatically welcome, making the LG G1 OLED a standout set since it was launched in mid-2021. It's backed up too by a big improvement to LG's AI Picture Pro video processing and support across all four HDMIs for all the big new 4K HDR, VRR, and 120Hz gaming graphics features, including Dolby Vision HDR. The LG G1 OLED TV's thin uniform design helps it looks gorgeous on your wall. The 65-inch model costs 3,000 US dollar. If you're thinking of getting a G1 in a different size prices, find the 55-inch G1 available for 2,200 US dollar and the 77-inch model available for 4,500 US dollar. LG G1's ultra slim design is incredibly flat with no awkward flourishness to spoil the slender profile. The wall mount that ships with the TV is even designed to fit into a recessed area on the TV's rear, making the LG G1 seat as flush can be against the wall. Of course, most people don't hang their TVs on a wall. So if you want the G1's extra picture quality but don't want to wall mount it, you will need to purchase an extra feet for the LG G1 Gallery OLED TV as an optional extra. LG does its own reasonably robust and attractive options, as well as a striking new gallery floor stand that fits the TV onto a tripod style pole. But you won't get a countertop stand out of the box. Despite its slim profile, all of the LG G1 Gallery OLED TV's connections and speakers are built into the screen's casing, and the input support is pretty outstanding. All four of the HDMI support full HDMI 2.1 feature sets, complete with cutting-edge gaming in 4K at 120 Hz with HDR and variable refresh rates. In fact, the LG G1 even supports all three current variable refresh rate variants: NVIDIA G-Sync, AMD FreeSync, and the standard HDMI 2.1 system. The G1 also provides three USBs for multimedia playback or recording, as well as the now ubiquitous Wi-Fi and Bluetooth wireless connectivity options. LG has revamped the design of its Magic Remote Control. It's longer and slimmer and features a pronounced recess in its rear side that helps it feel very balanced and comfortable to hold. There are now direct app access buttons for Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, Rakuten TV, Google Assistant, and Amazon Alexa. But it happily retains both LG's distinctive point and click navigation option and a dial to help you spin rapidly up and down menus. The LG G1 OLED uses the LG's most substantial revamp to its renowned web operating system smart platform since it first launched. The most immediate change comes with its home screen, which now occupies the whole screen rather than just superimposing a neat row of app icons over the picture's bottom edge as previous web operating system had. The LG G1 Gallery OLED TV Evo panel is the first really substantial OLED TV hardware revision LG has introduced for years. That's not to say that there haven't been lots of small iterative hardware improvements along the way, but the differences here are big enough to prompt LG to actually shout about it through the Evo branding exercise. The Evo panel isn't a jaw-dropping overhaul, but the change is definitely noticeable and improves things for the better, making the LG G1 OLED a better friend to high dynamic range imagery than any LG OLED before. The Evo panel uses new materials that enable it to run more efficiently, meaning it can hit higher brightness levels without either ramping up power consumption or crucially increasing the chance of its screen suffering permanent screen burn. The peak brightness reading on a 10% white HDR window of just over 870 nits. It's a small but notable improvement over the 754 nits of last year's GX range. And the peak brightness reduces by 100 nits, or so when you shift from the vivid picture preset to standard, the extent of the G1 brightness improvement versus the GX uh, though tends to be between 10% and 20% across all picture presets, and that's why also always enough to make its presence felt in two key ways. On the other hand, if you see the LG G2, LG G2 Evo is the best 4K OLED TV LG has made to date. It's contention of the best TV of 2022. The LG G2 have four models: 55, 65, 75, and 83 inch. 55-inch LG G2 price is $2,200 US, 65-inch $3,200 US, 75-inch $4,200 US, and 83-inch $6,500 US. The LG G2's admirable attributes is long. It's got 4 HDMI 2.1 inputs. It looks stunning mounted on the wall with the no gap wall mount that's included in the box, and it is indeed LG's brightest OLED TV to date thanks to LG's OLED Evo technology, a blend of hardware and software efforts that in the case of the G2 happens to include a heatsink in the panel that allows the TV to reach high brightness levels while also reducing the risk of permanent image retention burning. As an OLED TV, the LG G2 offers pitch black levels, setting the foundation for eye-popping contrast. LG's processing has gotten very strong lately, which makes for solid motion performance, minimal noise and artifacts, and very smart use of its peak brightness capabilities. In other words, the G2 doesn't just get bright for brightness sake, although you can force it to do so. However, in its most accurate picture preset modes, it resolves bright highlight detail in a way that is reminiscent of Sony's TVs. If the idea is to deliver on creative intent, then LG is very much standing toe to toe with Sony in that regard, even if that isn't one of the G2's primary marketing lines. As far as bells and whistles go, the G2 is loaded with them: voice control, automatic source detection, smart home integration, and more gamer-friendly features than any other brand, including NVIDIA G-Sync, AMD FreeSync, and generic variable refresh rate support, which along with those 4 HDMI 2.1 inputs, low input lag, and a gaming dashboard culminates in a highly attractive list of features for gamers who want it all, even if they aren't likely to use it all, at all. This LG G2 actually more or less stuck to the typically accurate filmmaker mode or SDR and HDR content, although I'm also a fan of the color accurate ISF bright and ISF dark modes available. My choice to stick primarily to filmmaker mode boils down to the fact that it has just about every minute setting. I pay attention to set up the way I want them, saving me the hassles of digging deep into the settings menu. For example, motion smoothing is turned off by default, and the white point already is set to the D65 standard embraced by Hollywood professionals. In filmmaker mode for SDR peak luminance registered at 170 nits. To be clear, the TV can get much higher than that if you set it to, but remember that filmmaker mode is supposed to make the picture accurate and caps SDR brightness at the established standard. If one were to go into the expert picture mode and set the peak brightness option to high and the OLED light setting to max, one could enjoy up to 450 nits of practical brightness, which is both impressive for an OLED TV and good enough to do battle with a daylight-filled viewing environment. Peak brightness measurements in HDR are what really give us a sense of just how bright this LG G2 TV can get. And in HDR, this was before any adjustment. So thus out of the box HDR filmmaker mode, I got about 980 nits peak from a 2% to 10% window and about 190 nits full field. When this LG G2 TV to its HDR cinema picture mode and maxed everything brightness related setting, the TV pushed just past the 1000 nit mark. By the numbers, that makes the white light output of the LG G2 the highest I've seen from any OLED based display. The very brightest parts of HDR images hit with a slightly more intensity than I've seen on any previous LG TV. This applies equally to both artificial highlight light sources such as naked bulbs, torches, street lights, and so on, and natural light sources such as reflections on skin, glass, or metal, fluffy white clouds, or of course direct shots of the sun. Combine this high intensity with the contrast prowess of OLED technology, where black and full brightness pixels can reside side by side without any mechanical compromise between the two, and you really have got a beautiful luminous image that puts more of the high dynamic range, especially if you can take advantage of the LG G1's Dolby Vision HDR support. As with all LG TVs, there's not always also support for the rival HDR10 Plus Premium HDR format. The Evo Panel's slight uptick in brightness has not had any negative effect at all on LG OLED's traditional black level ProS either. If anything, dark scenes are rendered slightly better than those of the GX range, revealing a touch more detail in dark areas and avoiding pretty much all of the momentary brightness instabilities and flickers that occasionally cropped up on the 2020 model. Does that make the brightest OLED TV ever though? Not exactly. The real advantage to the QD OLED technology that I've seen in the Samsung S95B and the Sony A95K over the WRGB OLED technology used in the LG G2 here is in the color brightness. So if I compare these two TV, LG G1 and LG G2, definitely LG G2 is sharp, vivid, and brightness is better than LG G1, no doubt about that. So what's your thought? Please write in the comments below. That's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for features and features update. My humble request, please subscribe this channel. Making video is not an easy task, guys. I just work for you guys that you can understand which TV is better. If you subscribe, then I can inspire to make videos like that. Thank you.
To change up.